For the first time in more than 30 years, something unthinkable has happened. The United States economy, already the largest in the world, is now growing faster than China's. For decades, the world assumed China's rise was unstoppable, that one day it would replace America as the global economic superpower. But now, that assumption is in doubt. Here's the twist. That growth isn't evenly spread across America. In fact, most U.S. states are struggling. Two-thirds of them aren't even keeping up with the national average. So where is all this growth coming from? From just a handful of regions, and one state in particular is carrying far more weight than anyone expected. Florida, a state once known for beaches, retirees, and theme parks, is now outpacing economic giants like California, New York, and even Texas. But here's the real question. Is Florida's boom a blessing for America, or is it quietly creating problems that could shake the nation's future? Stay with me, because the answers might surprise you. A shift in global power. For the first time in over 30 years, the U.S. economy is growing faster than China's. This challenges the long-standing belief that China would inevitably overtake the United States as the world's economic leader. What makes this even more striking is that America's economy is already the largest and most diverse on the planet, and yet it continues to expand. But look closer. Nearly two-thirds of U.S. states aren't keeping pace with that national growth, which means the heavy lifting is being done by just a few regions. And right at the center of this story is Florida, a state whose economy rivals entire nations, bigger than Indonesia, Mexico, or even Spain. But more importantly, Florida is growing faster than America's other economic giants, California, Texas, and New York. How is that possible? And more importantly, is this growth truly good for the country? Florida's unlikely rise. Florida's economy wasn't built overnight. For much of its history, it was little more than a sunny vacation spot. Swamps, storms, and mosquitoes made serious development slow. That began to change with the arrival of the railroads. Tourism expanded, farming flourished, and industries like phosphate mining took root. Even today, Florida supplies nearly 75% of the fertilizer used by U.S. farmers, a hidden backbone of America's food security. But the Florida of today isn't powered just by tourism or agriculture. Its recent rise comes from something much more modern and much more controversial. The Magnet State. Florida has become the top destination for Americans on the move. Since 2020, it has gained nearly as many new residents as New York has lost. Some are retirees chasing sunshine and lower taxes, but increasingly, they're young professionals, tech workers, and entrepreneurs. No state income tax, lower costs compared to New York or California, and a booming hub for finance and technology, especially in Miami. In fact, Miami now hosts more international banks than even New York City. Add in the rise of remote work, and Florida suddenly isn't just for vacationers, it's a new home for America's most mobile workers. But with every gain comes a cost: brain drain and capital flight. Every skilled worker or wealthy professional who moves to Florida isn't just helping Florida, they're hurting the state they left behind. This is what economists call brain drain. When talent leaves, local industries lose their best people. Tax bases shrink, and entire regions fall behind. Alongside that is capital flight. When people move, their money and businesses move too. That leaves wealthier states richer and poorer states struggling to catch up. It's a problem usually seen between countries, but in the U.S., it's now happening between states, and Florida is at the heart of it. The race between states. This migration sparks fierce competition.
States slash taxes, cut regulations, and offer massive incentives to lure companies. Short-term, that makes states like Florida winners. But long-term, it risks turning into a race to the bottom, where states weaken their own systems just to outcompete each other. The result? Growing inequality. Wealthy newcomers push up costs of living, while ordinary Floridians struggle to keep pace. So, while Florida's headline numbers look impressive, the reality on the ground is far more complicated.
Florida on the leaderboard. Let's score Florida's economy. GDP, 1.4 trillion, on par with Mexico. If it were a country, it would rank 14th in the world. GDP per capita, over $70,000, strong globally, but still behind the U.S. average. Growth, one of the fastest in America. Florida's economy has doubled in the last decade. Industries diversified across agriculture, mining, tourism, finance, and technology. Final score? 8.4 out of 10. Equal to Texas, though achieved in very different ways.
The uncertain future. Florida is booming. It's attracting wealth, talent, and industries at a record pace. But here's the question that remains. Is this growth lifting America, or just shifting prosperity from one state to another? Florida could be the blueprint for America's economic future. Or it could be a warning sign. Only time will tell. Florida's story is a reminder that economic growth is never just about numbers. It's about people, where they live, where they work, and how their choices reshape entire regions. Yes, Florida's rise is impressive. A state once seen as little more than a tourist playground is now competing with entire nations. But beneath the surface lies a deeper question. Is this growth sustainable? And is it truly benefiting everyone? Because if prosperity is concentrated in just a few regions while others fall behind, America may face a future where its own states compete like rival countries. For Florida, the challenge will be balance, balancing growth with stability, wealth with affordability, and opportunity with fairness. Whether it becomes a long-term economic powerhouse or just a shining outlier in America's story depends on how it handles the years ahead. Florida may not just be shaping its own future, it may be shaping the future of the United States itself.